Good morning, Mr. Masters. Thank you very much. So my name is Steve Brine. I have represented Winchester and Chalmers-Ford in Parliament since May 2010. Obviously, I represent a large number of constituents on the border of Eastleigh, Winchester. So it's a real pleasure to come and say a few opening remarks today at your second day. I know a very wide span of speakers yesterday, including, of course, a number of constituents of mine and certainly two of the parish councils in the area that I have represented for the last almost 10 years. My former colleagues, Mim Davies, who represented Eastleigh since 2015, and George Hollingbury, who represented Meon Valley since 2010, were planning to speak to the examination, but they both stood down from their seats at this general election, so I was, as it were, the last man standing. But they fully support my views on the Eastleigh local plan. I just want to pay tribute to the work that they did alongside me and ADD over many years to make their constituents aware of the issues of this local plan process and ensure that their voices were heard in it. I wish them both very much well for the future. Now, I wanted to keep my appointment with you for this session. It's been in the diary for a very long time, so a few points that I want to put on the record with Masters. So on behalf of my constituents, we believe that this is an unsound scheme, chosen for the wrong reasons, not because it's objectively the most appropriate scheme. There is widespread belief among the people that I represent, and it's a feeling I very much share, that there is something of a democratic deficit where this plan and Winchester is concerned. You will know that it is located at the very northern edge of the borough, ensuring that at least half, that is a conservative estimate, disruption caused by this development would be felt by my constituents, who of course do not vote in Eastleigh, have no say over who runs that authority. They make it very clear to me that they feel very powerless in a direct sense, and are pleased to be able to have a voice of sorts via the excellent ADD and representatives such as myself. I was out on the doors for some reason in Colden Common just last weekend and yesterday, and time and again concerns about Eastleigh's local plan have been raised with me. I understand comments from the current leader of the Borough Council in yesterday's Hampshire Chronicle saying, well, you know, people will object wherever development is proposed. Yes, the difference is that most people can object in a majoritative, substantive way. My constituents cannot, because they do not have any representative direct democracy link to the borough of Eastleigh. On consultation, so consultation with Winchester City Council, in my opinion, was late and inadequate. It only started in earnest after the decision to go for option B and C had been taken, rather than being an iterative process. Consultation with parish councils was poor, and I'm told, as well as representing a part of the borough myself, which is Chalmers-Ford and Hiltingbury, that consultation with Eastleigh residents was a token exercise because the decision to go ahead with B and C had already been taken. Indeed, ADD informed me and my constituents that an email exchange between the leader of Eastleigh Borough Council and the developers in June 2015 shows that they were already discussing a, and I quote, joint venture 6 months before the consultation even began. Now, throughout the process, opposition to the Council's chosen strategic growth option, the SGO, options B and C, have been ignored. At the earliest consultation, the issues and options paper in December 2015, there were 25 in favour and 592 against. That is to say, many more objections than all the other 8 options combined. There was relatively little opposition to D and E, which enjoyed a significant level of support. Now, this picture was confirmed by the most recent consultation in 2018, and the authority indicated at the time that objections to B and C were of insufficient quality. Let me turn to traffic congestion and some of the specifics that concern me and my constituents. I think traffic congestion is very near the top of their concerns, my side of the borough line. The SGO is in the most car-dependent location possible, in open fields on the fringe of the borough. It's well away from existing public transport networks and places that people might like to go, such as Eastleigh Town, Southampton, the motorways, and the transport network. It is surely not unreasonable to expect lots of two-car households in the SGO, and modelling by ADD's traffic consultants predict that even with the link road, traffic congestion in the southern part of the Winchester City Council area will increase massively as a result of the SGO. Now, if financial constraints result in a portion only of the link road being built, the traffic chaos will be greater still, including in Eastleigh's own already overstretched road network. And I certainly hear about that from my constituents. EBC has repeatedly ignored the opportunity to develop new rail links and services, including the potential for a new station at Allington to promote a public transport strategy. Let me turn to viability. The proposals commit the borough to delivering nearly 2,000 houses above government requirements, which it plans to build through 2044. This leaves open the possibility that the houses will never be built because of lack of demand, in which case who will pay for the infrastructure? Surely not the developers, who've already had to agree to a range of costly mitigation measures to reduce the environmental damage that would be caused by the scheme. Two other points, if I may, and then I will close. The proposals would provide the wrong housing mix, in our opinion. Eastleigh will get executive estates for people who wish to live near Winchester, can't blame them, rather than the starter homes that Eastleigh needs. We know, for example, that new housing built recently near the proposed SGO started around £400,000 for a 3-bedroom house, 500k for 4 bedrooms. This is unaffordable for many residents, nor does the plan include accommodation for elderly people, which is in short supply in the borough. It must be said, to be fair, this is not a problem unique to Eastleigh when it comes to building new large-scale developments. I've heard it across other parts of my constituency. And finally, the environment, which I am most passionate about, which, as you see every time you drive into the borough of Eastleigh, is their self-stated raison d'etre. Now, advice given to ADD by several experts indicates that runoff from the proposed development will inevitably damage the River Itchen at a particularly eco-sensitive location by the main breeding ground for Atlantic salmon. It also threatens several other species, most notably the southern damsfly, which has the highest level of protection. This is unacceptable to my constituents, given the international importance of the river and the fact that it is a special area of conservation. You don't have to take my word for it, Ms. Masters. In January 2016, Eastleigh Borough Council's senior planner at the time told a meeting of the Colden Common Parish Council's Planning Committee, which is in my constituency, which is, of course, that the road would definitely damage the life of the River Itchen. I'm told that he has since departed and EBC has now reached a different view. Make your own of that as you will. Although these are parts of the plan that will have a direct impact on the environment in my constituency, I know my colleagues are also deeply concerned about its impact on several areas of ancient woodland and the South Downs National Park. And to close, I was out talking to constituents, as I say, in Colden Common just yesterday, and one resident, who knows, she may even be here this morning, made the point to me that yes, transport and infrastructure and all the issues that some of the issues I've outlined today matter, but it's the loss of landscape that will really impact on the quality of life for my constituents on my side of the borough line. Now, my constituents choose to live, and they pay a high premium to live, in this part of the world, because they've got many of the amenities they need close to hand, but they also have what we like to describe as the landscape setting of the amazing Hampshire countryside on their doorstep. And that is what makes it special. So we must build new homes, nobody denies that. And we in Winchester, where we actually have a local plan and have had for years and are now revising it, we're so far ahead, are doing that. But we must remember to keep viable, breathable communities at the same time. Otherwise, why are we doing any of this? Thank you very much.